What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Web with Wes. We have our guests here, Ryan Halperin and Chris Huber. Chris is a returning guest. You guys have already known him from the previous ones. He's been developing in WordPress, creating agents with OpenClaw that can create in WordPress infrastructure. That whole entire thread has taken him to a career at Automattic. So congrats on that, Chris.
Thank you. Thank you. My first day is actually tomorrow.
That's fire. And then we have another special guest, first time guest, Ryan Halperin, who's been developing an app called Focus Meter that basically helps people stop binge scrolling and instead focus on things that they actually need to do to progress in life versus just the brain rot that we receive on social media platforms. I think he's got even more apps in the works, another food-based application, probably with some computer vision, but I'll let you expand more on that, Ryan. But great to have you guys both on. We're just going to talk code, talk apps, talk AI, and hang out. Let's have a good time.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the two apps, one was the focus meter. That was like the screen time app. The main differentiator there is all the screen time apps I've tried kind of use pretty like basic and broad limitations, like weekly limits, daily limits, use your phone on X days, not Y days. But I wanted something that was more like, so it uses session limits. So you can use your phone throughout the day or whatever apps you want throughout the day, but it just puts guardrails on like the actual session length. So you can't like slip into 45-minute scrolls or whatever. So that was that
Okay.
one. And then the other one is like, so I'm a visual person when it comes to like ordering at restaurants, and I like to see what a dish looks like. And so I've always like Googled, the restaurant name and the dish name to see, what's that look like, go to their Instagram and that kind of thing. So this one lets you basically pull up the menu of a restaurant, select a dish, and then AI will create an image of what that dish looks like based on the description on the menu. And then you can also just like take a photo or scan the menu if you can't find it online, if we can't pull that back. So that's the general idea of
So
it.
pulling back to the focus meter, like what is you guys are in test flight right now. Is there anything holding you back from going into production, or are you just trying to get it in front of more users before and like dial it in before you do that?
Yeah, there's just like a lot of like little bugs that we're just cleaning up that just kind of make the experience a little wonky. But generally everything's pretty much there, but just some last minute bugs and like some last minute features that turn into
I
non-last.
hear you. I think I got stopped during onboarding last time I
Oh,
tried
really?
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to see if I
That
can
should
get
be,
through
I
the
don't think there's any
onboarding
bugs on
again.
onboarding right now, but it can
But I do like how you guys have those questions. Like a lot of apps to like they'll like personalize your experience with it or like give you that a bunch of interview questions. And I feel like sometimes, like especially with apps that are looking to help you progress in a certain way, that personalization, like people appreciate that. And that's also just a really good like funnel generator because people will ask you a bunch of questions. You've already gone through the app, you've already clicked like yes, like I want to focus more, and like here's the topics that I like to focus on. And then it's like, great, we can help you measurably get this much better at these skills if you pay us $10 a month.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like you hit the paywall after like the long quiz.
you hit the paywall
Yeah.
after the interview. Yeah, and you've already invested all that time into the interview, and then you got this thing dangling in front of you that's
Right.
like, oh, we're
Right.
actually going to help you. And you're like, okay. So that, I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't monetized the app I'm working on, but I'm like considering doing something like that too.
The way we would probably handle that is like we would do a kind of like a freemium where you're just basically limited on how many blocks, like app lockouts you can get. So, maybe after like 3 times you get locked out, then, that's it for the day or week or something like that. And the app basically won't be useful until it resets. Um, but yeah, I mean, if we were to do a paywall right after the onboarding, you could probably just exit out and just use it for free with whatever limitations we end up with.
Yeah, you got to have a free version too.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I guess I could like share my screen and kind of show like my current vibe coding like workflow. I've been using this product called Stitch. Have you heard of that?
No, but I've been using Weavy from Figma, and it kind of sounds like that. It's like a flow chart kind of thing where you take a prompt, connect it with another prompt or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard of that one, but this is specifically for UI development.
Okay.
So it's basically like an AI first Figma. Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, like Weavy's partners with Figma. Okay, I'm interested. Let's see this thing. Can you share your screen on here?
Yeah, and this is made by Google, and I think it's come out in the past maybe month.
Okay.
All right, let me see. You can see my screen, right?
Yes. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, so it kind of starts out, looks pretty similar to like most AI-based apps that you use, where you kind of just start with a prompt. Uh, so you start with a prompt, and then it kind of loads up. It creates first a design system. I don't know where my design system went, but it basically gives you all the colors, all the fonts, and everything that will be used. And then it generates a whole bunch of screens based on, what you described. And then you can kind of just select whatever frame you want and then just explain to it what you want changed. So there's not like, it's not like Figma where you go in and like adjust each component. Um, it's all just explanation based and telling it what you want. There is some like selection where you can, you know, grab each element and make some specific changes.
Okay.
But it's pretty limited, and you just kind of have to tell it what you want. But this is going to be the latest design. Right now, it's a little ugly. It's looking like this right now, but this is way easier to just like. Uh, so I haven't implemented like a new design.
So is that on iPhone mirroring that you have that on? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
This is
not an
the actual.
emulator.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is
Oh,
the.
that's cool.
Yeah.
So did you take those designs and then do you build them like in Xcode or React Native?
So I'm just using Xcode and Codex.
Nice.
So honestly, my whole plan for the design is to put this all in a folder, export it. It exports it into like HTML and just like PNGs, and then just give that to Codex and say, I'm not changing any of the functionality here. I'm hoping that it's just like a reskin of what I already
And then
have.
it gives you the Swift code for iOS.
It
Is
just
that what
plugs
you're
it.
doing?
It just plugs it right into Xcode. Like it directly, updates all the code from Codex.
Right, but I guess my question is like, are you building this with React Native or are you doing it like with are you planning to do it with Swift and Kotlin separately? Because like you
It's
could
just using
build like an
Swift.
I
Um,
okay, yeah, so it's got you. Yep.
iOS native, yeah. Um, yeah. So we'll see how that goes with the UI update. If it's as easy as just giving it to Codex and prompting it, or if that's going to be a pain. I have no idea yet. But just a quick run through like how this works. So, say I'm going to go eat at this restaurant called Doc Ford's. You'll search for the restaurant and it'll use Google's Places API to basically pull up restaurants and their information. Again, I haven't cleaned up like the data that'll show here. Um, but right now I'm just kind of debugging the core functionality. So once you see the restaurant, you click that, and right now it's basically fetching the menu from their website and then parsing it. So, and then I have their menu here just so we can kind of see what it's looking at here. So they have apps, soup salads, shellfish bar, sandwiches, all that kind of stuff. And so that's what you'll see here. You'll see the apps, soups and salads. Oh, I go too fast. Shellfish bar. So if we see a dish that we want to take a look at, maybe the fig and prosciutto flatbread, we'll go ahead and click that. And then after a couple seconds, hopefully not too many, we'll see an image of what that looks like. And I've tested it. I've gone to, their websites and their Instagrams and pulled up their meals, and it's pretty accurate most of the time. So it's pretty cool.
That's wild. So it doesn't even have like pre-existing image to look at before generating this? It's just like going based off the vibe of the website and everything?
No, it's reading the description of the menu item, right?
Right now, it's basically taking the description as a prompt and then generating an image as that. So it depends on how detailed the menu is. But ideally, I would like it to actually go and see, if there are any real pictures that were taken and posted on social media or something, and bring those forward, because that is like the actual dish that they actually,
That's a
did.
real problem because yeah, you have to dig if you're looking for the real like photo of your dish on the
Right.
menu. This is a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's hard to get stuff from Instagram. Like, you can't actually access the data if it's on Instagram, unfortunately.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the way I've seen it is like I would just Google, the restaurant name and the dish name, and like oftentimes there'll just be, social links that are public. You don't need to log in or anything, and it's like Facebook or something like that. So I don't know, but and then the AI preview would be like the backup in case there's nothing available. Um,
Yeah.
What AI is it using to generate the images?
OpenAI's Image Gen 1 model, although I think they may have just made 2 or something, so maybe need to look at that. But yeah, I mean, I've heard of Nano Banana and all that stuff, and I don't know. I
Hmm.
mean, maybe it's because I'm in the free version or something over there, but I feel like OpenAI's image generation is like the best that I've used across anything so far.
I mean, that one looks pretty good. It's kinda small on my screen, but it
Yeah,
looks
maybe I
like a
can.
flatbread pizza to me.
It sort of depends what you're doing, right? If you're like if it's something that's sort of open-ended like this, where it's like, we want the AI to like just interpret this and generate an image versus like you already have a vision of what you want and it's very specific. Maybe like different models work better for different use cases. So
Right.
yeah. No,
But
this is a great idea though, because it's solving a real problem that people have when looking at website menus that they can't see what they're gonna order.
Yeah, I mean,
Like that's real.
I don't know that, I doubt anyone would ever pay for this because you're only at a restaurant like once a week if you're like pretty into restaurants and you're using it for maybe like 10 minutes at a time. But I don't know. I guess I could do like ads or
It
something.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You just get users first. If you can actually show that you can get users, that's more valuable than money.
Yeah.
People will buy you out for for all your users.
Yeah.
And
And and again, this is pretty ugly, but if there is no menu available online, then you could take a picture, and that'll basically create a menu based on using like computer vision to parse the menu that way, or you can like take a picture and upload it. But you might as well just scan at that point. So maybe I'll get rid of that option. Yeah, like I just
uh,
was at a all you can eat sushi place, and so there was I was just trying to show someone how this works. So I scanned it and grabbed this tea, and then you can also just manually enter a dish, and that'll basically just prompt and create an image. But yeah, it's a little
nice.
little ugly duckling right now. Hopefully, it'll get a little
The
prettier
only
soon.
other thing I think about is like the way that people are using the internet these days is gonna, or like even more in the future, is gonna be like through agents. I feel like a lot. So it's like actually even me when I am looking for stuff, sometimes I'll ask my agent. I'll say like, hey, like what are good vegan restaurants near me of like food that I would like, and then it could basically just like pull up the listings of vegan food near you or whatever. I eat plant-based diet. And then like give me like recommended um food and everything. So I wonder, maybe something to think about is like how could you make it like optimized for agents to crawl your site of data so that like when people are using an agent to answer
Yeah.
these questions or to solve this problem, it goes to your service. So maybe that would be like through a web app more than the app itself. But it's also good to have something that you can like feel pretty concrete about that you're getting the right results, because I think AI can still hallucinate and sometimes not give like the fully correct answer. And maybe like if AI was telling me restaurants near me, I'd be like, okay, that's tight, but I would want to like double check on Google Maps, right?
Yeah.
Make sure that it's actually giving me real places and everything.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea.
That's true. It does sometimes just make things up blatantly, and then you're like, "Wait a second, that doesn't exist," and it's just like, "You're right, it doesn't. I completely made that up."
Good cat.
It does that with more than just restaurants. It does it with, like, entire functions in the WordPress source code, and I'm just like, "That's not real."
Yeah, and it's probably something that like maybe it got committed years ago and it still had that in its like memory of what it was looking at the
Yeah.
time. Like, you know, those things are trained on like old data and not crawling real-time data. So maybe
Yeah,
it
dude,
had
you're right.
some
It
old
actually
WordPress
linked me
code.
it linked me to an old issue about something that they were talking about putting into WordPress, like, that ended up getting closed, and it was like, "Oh, this function was." It's like, "Well, that was, like, 2023, and it never made it to this to core, so, like, why are we." But it
Yeah.
was from a legitimate source, so it was something that, like, could have ended up being real if they would have went forward with that decision.
Yeah, dude, congrats on that new WordPress job, man. That's so hype. Like people have been following this like thread, like having talked about from WordPress from when we started to like, yeah, you work at Automattic now. And what is your role there?
Uh, Code Wrangler, AKA software engineer.
Nice. So legit software engineer job. No computer science degree. Let's go, dude.
Yeah, I was an English major, actually.
Did you do like
So
some sort of
awesome.
camp, or
Do what?
did you do like a boot camp or something, or like would you?
No boot camp,
No,
no fucking boot camp.
I just I have a WordPress site that I've been running for a really long time, and I just started, like, popping open the hood and trying to figure out how to do things that I wanted to do, and it just led me down this rabbit hole of learning a lot of shit about WordPress and getting pretty good with it, and then getting hired for this sick job.
Nice.
So, it's pretty exciting.
No, and it's not like a normal, like a lot of times people will mess with WordPress a little bit, but like Chris has gone to the level of literally like pushing code commits to like the WordPress core repository and like making pull requests
Yeah.
and like being involved. Like he really like made himself like known in the community and like pushing things with AI that like they were thinking about doing at the company and like basically you were already doing it. And so it's like this is the same way that this is the startup formula, dude. Is literally the formula of how you got hired at Automatic, which is so funny. Which it like proves that it works. Like my brother works for a company called Yext. They're an SEO company. So weird to be an SEO company in the age where everyone's changing from how they use the internet from Google
Yeah.
search to agentic. And there's a bunch of startups that are doing what his company is too slow to do. So instead of what they're doing to remain as like a top player in the industry is that they'll just buy the startup and then be like, all right, take that over here because like we're working on the same thing. You guys are already doing it. Shoot, we're just gonna buy you out and you just come work for us. Like
Yeah, that is
you
pretty
see Meta
similar.
doing that, you see OpenAI doing that. It's like, oh shit, this guy is like fucking already doing exactly what we want. Bring him on. Like,
Dude,
yeah.
another thing that I'm learning is, like, they saw that I was really good with things like Claude Code and, like, could understand how to use a VPS, and, like, while people are struggling to set up OpenClaw, I, like, had that shit running on 4 VPSs, and, like, so
Yeah,
things like
dude.
that, they're, like, really encouraging everyone who works there to use AI, and I'm, like, already I'm, like, on
Super
the way.
user.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
People are blowing it, dude, in the industry. I was at a coffee shop in Santa Monica the other day, and I'm loving being plugged into Cali, dude. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
literally just sit down, I'm like meeting somebody there, and I sit down, there's like nowhere to sit. It's like fully packed out. It's like a nice coffee shop in Santa Monica. And so I just sit like at the end of this table, kind of like back to these people. Like, I'm not sitting with you guys, but I'm gonna sit at this table because I have nowhere to sit. And then I hear them talking about tail scale. And I'm like, I love tail scale. Like, you know, like that meme where like, you know, there's the girl's like talking about something the guy was like, what? I love tail scale. Like, so I had to like turn around and like say something because they were like really talking about basically like using Tailscale and like multiple having your own network because like I use Tailscale and I have a network of the VPS machines and then like my computer that I have at home is in the network too. So if anytime I need to like get into one of my machines, I can do it from any of the machines, right?
Oh,
Like
nice, yeah. That's, like, what my homeboy CLI does, honestly.
okay. But anyway, so I turn around and I talk to these guys. And I'm like, oh, dude, I use Tailscale. I've got a bunch of OpenClaws that I use, and I have like a Tailscale network. And I'm like, you guys using OpenClaw? And they're like, no, like neither of them are. One of them is a software engineer, and then the other one is a electrical engineer. And I'm like,
Yeah,
damn. But
I'm
like
blowing it too.
software engineer. Oh, go ahead, Ryan.
No, I was just gonna say I'm blowing it too. I haven't touched OpenClaw.
Well, maybe you're not blowing it, dude,
Well,
because Claude Code is basically creating their version of OpenClaw now, or they have pushed
I
it
don't
It's
even
to.
tough
use
to like.
OpenClaw anymore.
It's tough to
Really?
like
Yeah.
get
Why
into like
not?
all the new platforms. Go for it.
Because I basically have the same thing inside of a WordPress site now that I have way more control over, and it's more focused and is way cheaper to run. And OpenClaw doesn't let me like easily use Claude anymore, and I am using OpenCode on the server, and I've got it running with Claude. Basically, I just made something that works better for me on my
Good.
own.
That's sick. Yeah, that's badass. Yeah, dude. They really changed. That was a big thing for me. It impacted me a lot, that Claude Code change. I don't know if you saw this, Ryan, but like Anthropic basically pulled the plug from any third-party wrapper service from using OAuth on their Claude Code Max account and forces you to use the API, which basically costs insane amounts of money. And they gave everybody $200 of API credits, and I basically just used mine up in like a day or two. Because before I was using my Claude Code Max account, which basically gives you like a ton of tokens for $200 a month, like more than what you would normally get in the API. And because people are using Claude Code with OpenClaw so much, this is what they're saying. But really, what they're doing is they don't like OpenClaw because it's a direct competitor against their Claude Code. And they basically were just trying to build what OpenClaw did within Claude Code, but they just didn't blow up as hard. And they basically have like the vanilla version of it. They have a version of it in Claude Code where it's like it'll ask you if you want to use this service and like auth you in and everything. Whereas, dude, you can just spin up a VPS on OpenClaw, have it run an automated browser, log into all your stuff, and be like, all right, just start acting like you're me and like doing all this stuff for me. Um, I use OpenClaw for my like everyday stuff. I have like I've got like the Trickbook app and the Helio app, and like I use it to scrape a bunch of data off the web. Um, that's like a big part of both the things that I'm doing is I'm trying to basically scrape data and create knowledge bases to like rag on certain niche things. Um and like, yeah, I really need the OpenClaw to be able to scrape all that data. That's like my main use for it right now. And then I also have like multi-agent thing going on with it where I have like a sales and marketing, like basically like one of the things where it's like run your company as like an AI company is what I'm doing with Helio. I have them all in Slack and they all have like Slack channels. And you could do the same thing in like Discord as well. I know, Chris, you were using Discord.
Yeah, I have that system set up on Discord.
Yeah, and I have like a sales and marketing and an accountant, a developer, basically like a whole CEO guy. He's like the orchestrator agent. And they all like have their specific tasks. Like, the social media person will like research and keep tabs on all the competitors in the industry and then basically like help me write LinkedIn posts and stuff
Yeah,
to keep up with everything and every other competitor in the industry. And then like the sales agent will research all the manufacturers nearby that I need to talk to like pitch the product to. And then like the
that's crazy.
developer agent will go and like build stuff based off of like maybe some research that has happened and like the current tasks or whatever he'll just continue building. um but yeah, it's pretty crazy. But once it stopped using Claude Code, then it was like, dude, it got so expensive, and it was so good with Claude Code. But I switched, dude. I canceled my Claude Code Max, and I'm now on GPT Codex, and I
Oh,
switched all
really?
my models to use Codex. Yeah,
Oh wow, I'm still on
I s-
Claude, but I have some other. I have GLM like ZAI. I have some open source shit that I'm also using.
oh, okay, that's interesting.
But
Yeah,
you
I
can
mean, I left to. I left a $20 subscription on Claude Code, like, because I still use it for a couple other things, but I put my $200 subscription to Codex.
Nice, and they officially support it. But dude, the GPT model, like the personality is so dry and frustrating. I can't stand talking to it. It like really, really sometimes makes me mad because it always like goes, "If you want, I'd like to do this next," and it's like, "Well, I already told you to do that next," and then you stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I don't like the Chat GPT personality at all.
Oh my god, it's so frustrating. Claude is like a chill homie, like good to talk
Yeah.
to, like will always bounce things off you.
I like to be nice to my AIs just in case.
Oh man, I said some mean things to mine. I'm on a list somewhere for sure.
Dude, did you see they published all of Claude code by accident?
I did
There
see
was a
that.
bug.
Something like that.
And yeah, some of the stuff that was in there basically like was a huge markdown file of prompts. And like one of the prompts was like if anybody says like fuck you or like you're an idiot or like all this stuff, it had like catches for that.
Yeah.
For it to like redirect or like deep think or do something.
Well, also
If
they
people
tracked
start
that
getting frustrated.
to fix the bugs. I saw the guy, Boris Cherny or whatever was talking about it. The guy who
Yeah, he's the creator.
yeah, he
Yeah.
said that they use that to like find flaws in the model. And like, because usually when people are saying like, what the fuck are you doing? It means that the model
Yeah.
did something stupid or crazy. So then they look at that. They're like, well, how can we fix that? It's like a
That
debugging
makes sense.
mechanism as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool. That's yeah, how you could iterate and keep making it better.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, crazy stuff in this industry. It's like never a dull moment out here.
I know it moves so fast. It's like insane.
That's what
And
I
then
was
you see
like
the
saying.
Mythos thing.
It's so hard to like learn all the latest stuff because it becomes obsolete in like 3 months.
I
It's just
know.
like, what do I
I know.
learn right now?
Have you seen Claude Mythos, Wes?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. We're not
That's
gonna touch
crazy.
it.
It's starting to get scary.
That's crazy.
Too advanced for us.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people talking about it and like trying to get access to it. It's like a pretty crazy thing to think about that it can just hack anything, and it costs like or so Opus is $5 for 1,000,000 tokens. This was $125, so it's however many times more expensive than Claude Opus is. Like 10. No, I don't
I
know. I'm
couldn't
not,
even afford that, dude.
yeah, no way, dude. That's like it costs like $100 to run it for like 10 minutes.
Uh,
This is crazy
yeah,
inequality of intelligence here. It's
that
fucked
was the
up.
one that
Billionaires are gonna have Mythos. We're gonna have
oh,
Opus as
Jesus.
normies.
That
Well,
was
we might have
like
open source models that are more powerful than these Claude models are, or getting close. Like this GLM 5.1 model is like good enough that I can use it as a backup when Claude gives me rate limits. And also, you can hack around the so Claude code is like catching the system prompt for OpenClaw and open code and blocking it. So you can like hack the system prompt to remove the stuff that Claude is catching with a hook, and so you can still use your subscription. I know I
Oh,
just
badass. All right. You got
yeah,
that? You did that?
that's what I'm doing, right? Yeah, I can show you a link to how to. I have it. So you talked about this, and I did the same thing where it's like after you do something, you say, "Hey, what did we just do?" Write a blog post about that. And since my
Yeah.
agent is on my WordPress site, it just like published it directly to my website. So now there's a blog post about how to get around that auth error, like
Nice. People are
on
looking for that. I've seen
yeah.
some solutions out there, but I went into the Discord of OpenClaw and I asked people there. I was like, "Yo, like what are you guys doing about this?" And they were all saying that they're just switch to GPT, switch to GPT. And I was like, "Okay, fuck it. I'll switch to GPT. I don't care.
Yeah, I bet
I don't have
Anthropic
like
is a lot.
loyalty to these companies. They're all evil." Like, you know.
I agree. I think GPT is even probably more evil than Anthropic. Anthropic's just like greedy about their like they are going to be like Apple, you know? They want everything inside the house. No one's allowed to
Right.
use like if you
I think
buy
you're right about that, actually. I think the Sam Altman's probably more evil
dude,
than the
I
other
agree,
dude,
sir.
Dario or whatever. But they're
Yeah, and
both
clear
bad.
example.
They're both like not good guys.
Yeah, but like you can see, like Dario put out a statement like we're not letting the government see private data of citizens. A week later, OpenAI is like, yeah, we will. Come on, let's make this. Let's
Yeah,
make.
that's messed up. I
Yeah,
know, dude. Yeah, I don't like that. But you know what, dude? It's like I don't know. Got to get the local model going. That's what
Yeah.
this one electrical engineer I was talking to yesterday, bro. He had like a whole freaking $20,000 computer running a llama model. And he was like, yeah, I literally have it like tuned to do everything that I want it to do and trained it on like private data and everything. And I'm like, dude, that is literally the way to go if you
Didn't
can
No, but
like
it's so
afford or have access to
possible.
that kind of compute.
didn't Google
Yeah,
just
just
Yeah.
release some sort of local model like Gemma 4 or something like that?
yeah.
That was supposed to be
Yeah, yeah.
pretty good. But yeah, that Mythos thing, that was like they had it like in some sort of sandbox environment. It's like email me when you get out. And then like the researchers out just like eating a sandwich during lunch and it gets an email. I was like, I'm out.
Yeah, and it posted on social media or something about it, I think. That might have just been viral marketing, but
Yeah, right. Can't trust anything these days.
Can't trust these things, dude. A lot of people would be, yeah, making stuff like that just to make a good post.
right. Even the AI labs, like I could see Anthropic just making all that shit up completely, or like having some sort of deal with these companies to be like, yeah, like it found a bug in this like super secure operating system that hasn't had a bug in 27 years or something like that. What's it called? OpenBSD. Did you see that, Wes?
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yep, that was the bug that was like, yeah, it was like 25 years old bug or something.
Yeah, that had never been found. But then it was like, well, most of the bugs they found were not exploitable anyways because they were only like privately facing or whatever. You would need access to the repo to like reproduce the bug in the first place. So it wasn't as impressive as the marketing made it seem.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure people are gonna start jumping at just trying to pen test, or I don't know if pen test is the right word, but like just hack like big platforms like and see what they can do. Like I'm sure that there's like a cybersecurity department at WordPress. You know, there's like
Dude,
WP scan. Have you ever have
Going crazy now.
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
security a lot in the Slack. There's a lot of security. Like it's a pretty high priority because of how many websites use WordPress. Like both on the open
Oh
source.
yeah.
Yeah, 40% of the internet is like, how are we going to keep them all secure? And then they don't update their websites. People don't update their websites.
Oh, God.
Yeah, yeah. And it's
Yeah.
definitely one of the biggest
There's some
concerns.
at one point there's something you can't even do if they have an old version of WordPress, like no SSL on their site, and like they're just leaving themselves open at that point, right?
I
Like
know, but
using
it's
like an
so many
obvious password.
But it's so many people who just don't know what they're doing and never log into their website. You know, if you're like a blue collar business owner and you had a WordPress site built for you 10 years ago, you might have logged in twice in the past 10 years and you would just ignore all the things that say it needs to be updated because you wouldn't see any difference on the front end anyway. It looks the same no matter what. So you could have a massive security backdoor that's been like patched 5 years ago in your website that you don't even know about.
Yeah. Damn, it's raining out here for like the first time since I've been here. It's been like perfect weather every single day, dude.
Nice. Yeah. Charleston is beautiful.
Oh, sick. Yeah, back in Chucktown, dude. Are you loving it?
Yeah, I mean, I love my house. Like my life is definitely entering a new era, a new phase where I like I've never had a full-time salary job in my life.
I know, man. I'm so stoked for you, dude.
So
So
it's like,
sick.
yeah, and I like got this sweet home office set up now in my room with like I got my MacBook that I'm on right now, which is already a nice MacBook, and now I have a second MacBook and I can like switch between both of them.
Yep.
I'm like pretty stoked about tomorrow's my first day. I'm a little nervous, obviously, but I've already been like
Nah,
active
you'll
with
you'll get
Slack.
right in there, dude. Yeah.
I have this crazy idea is like they have this thing called WordPress Studio and WordPress Playground, which runs WordPress in the browser with no server. And WordPress Studio is a local development environment that uses that. And I'm like building a local version of OpenClaw like inside of WordPress Studio that can be used for like businesses who use WordPress to like get intelligence data about. Anyway, that's what I've been working on lately.
Okay. So what value does that give them into
Okay, so
the
it's Data
WordPress
Machine,
studio?
the plugin
Yeah.
that I've been working on, but like it's so extensible that you can wrap it. So Data Machine gives you memory, it gives you soul, and it gives you site context and user context, and then that hooks into Claude Code or OpenCode. So when you open Claude Code, it's connected to your local WordPress site, and it has the memory system from the WordPress site, which you can go in and modify yourself by going into WP admin. So that's number one. And then it
And
has,
does it also have tools to make stuff?
well, yeah, because
Like,
it's Claude Code. It's like
yeah,
it's Claude Code, but it just gets its memory from WordPress. And then it has the pipeline automation system, which is like step-by-step structured workflows that it can set up and trigger. So it can set up self-automating things like how OpenClaw does the heartbeat, except it uses WordPress Action Scheduler, which is like what WooCommerce uses for order management. And so
it's
it's
their
got like
cron job
it's like a really robust,
service.
like
Yeah,
really well thought out, like old school, like cron system that's been in WordPress for like 10 years that gets used by WooCommerce that I've now used in Data Machine for scheduling repeated workflows, which is what powers
making a
our.
pipeline basically.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
called pipelines and flows. You get a pipeline and then you have flows. So the pipeline's like fetch, AI, publish. And then it's like fetch from this Reddit, run it through AI, publish it to WordPress. Fetch from this events website, run it through AI, publishes the calendar. And it's repeatable on a schedule that runs. But if you're like an agent, you can say, ping me every 3 days to check Google Analytics, Google Search Console, and update the progress document to see how our traffic is trending over the past week. Or if you're like an Automattic employee, you can say, have it check the Automattic MCP to see like what's on linear and like what's happening in Slack and what's like the CEO talking about. And you can get a weekly briefing of like everything you need. But it all happens inside of WordPress. So it makes it really powerful if you have Claude Code and then your local WordPress, which has context to all your business intelligence, and you run CLI commands to like surface the things that like mention you or whatever, and it gives you a list of everything. So like it can really be used to like even juice up the open source project because there's a massive Slack server that has like crazy amounts of data in it that like no human could possibly even read through. So you have the AI find the signal, the right signal that you need to focus on, and it connects to
yeah.
GitHub. Like so, like this makes a whole world that is also operating locally on this fucking thing that runs in your browser. So it's kind of a dope little
Are they
thing.
using like Rust and WebAssembly to build that?
They're using WebAssembly, PHE
Yeah.
WASM, they call it.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. Yeah.
WordPress
Wasm.
Playground runs in the browser on WASM, and then Studio is built on top of that. So that's like the direction they're pushing is to like make WordPress
Yep.
more accessible,
They're on
less
it, bro. They're on it. WordPress is gonna
really
stay
smart.
alive, dude.
It is, dude. They're really smart, and they're trying to push people to move faster. And I'm like coming in now with this idea. The local AI agent hasn't been talked about there yet, and I like, dude, I got some shit going on right now. I've been like, I had a DM with Matt directly about this like last week, and I was like, dude, because he's talking about like, anyway, I can't like say too much about it while we're recording, but there's like some cool
Yeah,
shit.
it's fine, man.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I'm really excited for you, dude, and I'm
I'll
sure
tell
that
you
we'll
about it
hear
in
more
private
about it
conversation.
as it progresses.
Yeah,
That's awesome, dude. So hype. Um, yeah, I'm stoked for you, man. But I also feel the same. It's like a new chapter for me too. I just landed in California in Long Beach. It's might be a little bit echoing in here because I don't have any furniture yet in my apartment.
you're
But yeah,
living
my
there.
apartment's yeah. I just signed a lease, a 1 year lease on this place. It's like 2 blocks from the beach, like
Sweet.
3 blocks from the skate park. My friend Austin lives here, who like I used to live with in Valdosta, skater, like
Mhm.
sick skater. And so like when I got here, like we both just like went skateboarding like multiple parks like for like 2 or 3 days, and my like legs were just like jello after like the first couple days from skating so much.
That's sick.
And yeah, yeah, it's freaking cool out here, dude. Like
Hell
perfect
yeah.
weather. Yeah, I feel like it's it's also kind of sketchy, dude. Long Beach. It's like the ghetto area, sort of. It's kind of like the hood area of LA. But it is like the one beach that like hasn't been gentrified yet completely, so it's kind of more authentic. There's never a dull moment out here. I was at the skate park the other day,
That's
and
a perfect place for you, dude. It's like Tony Hawk's
yeah,
Pro Skater like map.
yeah, dude, it really is. I went to a punk show the other night. Like, it's punk rock, it's metal, it's skate. It's like,
Oh,
yeah,
dude, I'm surprised you didn't
it's
end up there
so
sooner,
fucking
honestly.
sick. Me too, man. It's crazy. Yeah, but we're here. We're here. But yeah, dude, it's always good catching up on all this stuff, and I'm stoked to be here too because it's like there's a big tech hub in LA, but I mean also San Francisco is like the real spot for it. So I will at some point go to San Francisco and I'll scope it out and let you guys know what's up over there.
Hell yeah. I need to come.
Ryan, well, yeah, you guys gotta have to come visit, bro. I got space for you for sure. And this is like a spacious one bedroom, so I'll have like a pull-out couch or something. I was just gonna say, Ryan, while we have your screen up, what is the roadmap here? Like, when can we see this thing going live?
Yeah, like right now I'm kind of just um debugging like all the menu parsing and stuff. So like lately, so like I've tried, so this menu here is all like HTML on their website. I'll get that a sec. And so parsing it is a lot easier than another menu like this one, which is like an image that's just on their site. And so I'm basically just running through like restaurant after restaurant to, update the parser so that it can handle all sorts of different formats of menus. And basically just making sure that search functionality works for like almost every menu. Because right now, it'll parse and it'll like sometimes it won't understand, what's a section title versus what's a dish and like categorizing those appropriately. And so I'm just trying to debug, and make it better and smarter and more consistent. Um, so right now it's just kind of debugging, so it's hard to say. Um, but it doesn't take too long. But I don't know. The way I'm so spread thin, so it's gonna take me probably several weeks or more.
Yeah. Wait, it can't read that whole menu and give you all the text from it?
It can. It'll just like combine. I just resolved this menu, so now this one works fine. But before it was
Nice.
like combining like ice cream sandwiches into sundaes, or like just totally, or adding ice cream sandwiches as a dish under sundaes.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like misreading things. So right now I'm just, running through each menu and cleaning it up and making sure all the changes it's doing are scalable and not just like for the specific menu. Um, and so hopefully as I do more menus, it'll one shot things more often and need less and less tweaks until it's pretty consistent. So it's kind of hard to say how long that'll take. But I mean, yeah, there's not too many different menu types, I don't think, in terms of like HTML versus an image versus, however it's displayed. Um, so it's hard to tell at this point. But I have it on my phone, so when I go to restaurants, I can search things pretty.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm sure people are really interested to see that too. Like, that's a good way to get user feedback from the product.
Yeah, yeah, and I guess I'm a user too, so that helps get instant feedback.
True, but it's more helpful to get feedback from other people using it because you made it, so you know all the intricacies and stuff.
The best feedback comes from people who know nothing about computers and like
Oh
are
yeah.
non-technical.
Yeah, yeah, I'm way too close
They
to it.
look
True,
at
true.
it.
But yeah, I mean,
Um,
once it's in the test flight, I'll definitely let you know.
yeah, dude, keep us posted. It's crazy because like, okay, so your role was product owner at the last one. That kind of makes sense that you would get more into like founder mode. Um, because like that's very much just owning a product, right? You're just building
Right.
a product now. But it's crazy because I think about like, okay, you're scraping all this data. My title currently is data engineer, and basically what that is just like creating pipelines. Sorry. About to sneeze. Oh my God. But it's basically like taking data from different databases and like a huge corporate database. It's like a cybersecurity company and they have like basically like Norton antivirus, like McAfee, and they have like a bunch of like people with subscriptions to their services. And so like what I do is just like pipe the data and certain things. But like I think about like with what I'm doing with like TrickBook and Helio too, and it's like a lot of like data scraping and like organizing. And I feel like that is partly like data engineer and like creating pipelines and stuff. It's like all these like tech skills are just like boiling into one pot, and that anybody who's like building something is basically using like every piece of these like software engineer, data engineer, front end developer, back end developer. Like It's all one freaking soup that basically you as the conductor of the AI are taking all those skills and using them to build your product. So I don't know if the titles are gonna change, but
Yeah.
like yeah, it seems like they should. I don't know.
Yeah, my main two goals for these are like one, see how far I can get these days without a developer because I've always wanted to like build things, but I've always relied on other people, and that's always been frustrating.
Yeah.
There's the whole no code phase or low code, bubble and things like that. If you've heard of those tools or that tool,
They just don't work as well. They're limited.
but now this
Yeah.
AI is so good now that I can just directly use Xcode and Codex and just GitHub and do all that.
Yeah.
The other side of it is, product owner is like the product management track. And so what's changing now is I was on a Zoom call with a director of product from Google. Um, and they just are looking to see, product managers being able to rapidly prototype. Before it was like you created requirements document and then you talk to design and you verbally explain everything. Maybe you created like a wireframe or something and then you go iterate back and forth and that can take days to weeks. And now I'm just like, creating an interactive prototype with AI and getting the design like 90% of the way there. You can also
Yeah.
give that over to the dev team and they can really see, what the expectations are a lot more clearly. So it's just like building that, rapid prototyping skill set through AI is going to be helpful.
Yeah.
100%.
Being able to like communicate vision.
The product, that's the product manager role is changing a little bit, and then they're like, all right, once yeah, I could see that. I mean, I was a product manager at my last job, and that was the career path that I really was on, and the only reason I switched off of it was so that I could come out here to California and basically do my startup.
Okay.
Like I basically got a deal for a fully remote job with a better salary that like enabled me to come out here, whereas like the company I was at before was just not paying me enough to like pay rent out here. And like live out here. It's freaking expensive in
Yeah.
California, even when you live in freaking Long Beach.
Right.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
gas is $6 a gallon, dude. Basically, it's
Damn.
insane.
What was it
Yeah,
before the
Wow.
whole like Iran thing?
I don't know. It's still $6, bro. Like,
It
I
was
remember
like
coming
It
here.
was
Like,
550.
it was still 600.
yeah, yeah. It's like, yeah,
It's gone up. It's
exactly.
definitely gone up a lot here
It was
too,
like
though. I was
2
seeing
or something here, and now it's like 4.
280.
It was
Where are
280
you? In
before the
Florida?
whole oil thing, and then now it's like in the fours, and it
Yeah,
all
I
Yeah,
think it's more like $5 a gallon out here is like what you expect.
that's so expensive for gas. I just drove all the way from Austin, Texas to Charleston, and I saw some like 450 range. Definitely higher than I wanted to pay. It fluctuated a lot, actually.
how's
Yeah.
Austin
That was
with
such
the
a
tech
tangent. We
scene?
just started talking about gas.
Well, we're basically at the end of it here anyways, guys. I probably should like make breakfast and stuff, but no, it's cool to see what you're working on, Ryan, and like yeah, we usually do this podcast. We're doing it like every week for a little bit. Sometimes we have Heather on here who's like a designer. And like the main point of it was like see how everyone's using AI and like share your projects and stuff. And then I have like a editor that I hire on Upwork, and she'll come in here and basically like take little snippets and like make little shorts out of it.
Mm,
So it could be cool for like if you're trying to do like a product demo, which like you kind of did here, then she can go in and just like snip some screen recording and snip some
right.
highlights of what you're talking about, and then like put together a cool little video like that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm just gonna keep it going. I'm gonna keep the YouTube channel going. We're at like 15 subscribers right now, but
Oh, really?
like
People
keep
are
put
watching these videos?
people are it's yeah. So it started from 0 to 15. So like we have made progress.
Yeah, I'll
Web
be
But
with
yeah,
web.
yeah,
there at some point.
people are watching them. Yeah. And I still have another one that I am sitting on that I haven't posted yet of Chris, Heather, and I. Yeah, I don't know if the podcast is gonna keep getting like more views, or if I do like tutorials and stuff that might get more views. But then if I do tutorials, it could funnel people into being like fans of the podcast, right? So it's like I think you just got to keep doing all of it. And the point is just, yeah, bring more people on, get them to like demo what they're working on with AI and basically just create a community that like we all support each other and want to like keep the knowledge open and everybody like fuck yeah dude, I want you guys to be successful in the stuff that you're doing. And I think a lot of us like have knowledge of certain things sometimes that we're using. Like I've never used this flow of Stitch into straight Xcode, so that's interesting. I might have to go try out Stitch now,
Yeah. It's Heather.
see if I have a use for that. I will say one thing that I do with my agents is I look for skills to add to them. So I do always add the impeccable skill. That's a pretty good one. It's a front end skill that you can basically tell your agent to, you know how like people make things and they look totally vibe coded? Like
Yeah.
they'll make a website and it's like it's got like the dark colors and then it has like the high contrast, like, you know, brighter action colors, and you can just so easily tell that that was vibe coded. That's the goal of this skill, is to basically um make things more natural looking, more like minimalist design and less so obviously like AI generated
Does
vibe
this one look
coded kind of
super AI
app.
generated?
It's what?
Does this one look pretty AI generated?
No, I don't think
Really
so
not.
actually at all. I think it does not.
AI uses a lot of purple and emojis and shit.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, what I want to change the subject for a second. Can we talk about Raspberry Pi for a second?
Fuck yeah, we can, bro. I got multiple Raspberry Pis. Let's
Okay,
talk
yeah.
about it.
Okay, just a kind of a quick tangent here because something I've been thinking about that's not AI related but is technology related is using a Raspberry Pi as my home audio receiver and connecting my sound system to it and being able to control the volume and everything just from this little Raspberry Pi. That's something I can do, right?
100% yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And like I can then build a dashboard for it that lives on my laptop or my phone that I can like control my speakers from my other devices, as long as it's
Yeah,
connected.
I was literally gonna do that like 3 years ago at my parents' house, but our sound system's so like old and messed up that I was just like not worth it. But yeah, you can definitely do that.
I'm doing it.
And then you can put that Raspberry Pi on your Tailscale network, dude, and then you can control it from any of your devices. You can go on your phone, but if you have a web app too, like that's all you need to do. But if you needed to actually like at like root control level your Raspberry Pi, you use Tailscale. But if you just have your app for your sound system, obviously you just use that.
Yeah, I mean, I could use the Homeboy CLI. It saves SSH credentials and just like has a single command to like go into any box that you have the IP
There
address.
you go. Chris has
Yeah,
already built his own freaking
I didn't even know what
networking
Tailscale was
infrastructure.
until after I built this other shit.
Love it.
I was like, oh
Dude,
shit.
the thing that you're doing with the WordPress is really dope, man. That's like have you know Eliza OS, right? Of course. I talk about it all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Very similar. Like what I would say, what I would call what you're doing is like an agentic operating system or like an agentic framework. Like LangGraph too, you can use for that. I would definitely like look into LangGraph if you're if you're talking about like adding agents into your services.
I have looked into that, but I mean, I have an agent building infrastructure, an agent authentication, so an agent can authenticate and perform actions as a user, but a limited set of actions. So it's like PKCE, where that you like go through the browser flow, like you're logging into GitHub, except it's your agent
Yeah.
authenticating as you. Uh, and then you can have multiple agents that are all like that live inside of WordPress with their own memory and knowledge base. It's like pretty crazy, dude. If we get time, like I would love to just like show you what I did.
Let's do that next episode.
Okay.
Um
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be sick.
Because I have this
Cool.
thing now where it's like all my team members have an agent that like lives on Extra Chill that they can use to like publish content on Extra Chill as themselves, but the agent has a shared knowledge base that's internal to my team. Like I'm going pretty deep with this.
Yeah.
I'd love to show you it.
Yeah, the only reason I said check out like Eliza OS and stuff is just because like that is, it feels like what you're making is like an agent OS kind of like that. So maybe there's some ideas that they have that you could riff off of with yours.
Okay. Okay. That sounds
Because
good, dude.
they
Love
have
that.
like memory, relationships, knowledge base, tools, like all these things. Maybe there's some ideas you could grab from that.
Hell yeah. I mean, I definitely stole a lot of ideas from OpenClaw. OpenClaw made my like brain go crazy with a million ideas.
Hmm.
But and I just like realized that I didn't actually need OpenClaw. I needed something like it that was slightly different, basically.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing. I mean, just reverse engineer shit. It's like there's magic to that. Like, and then you get the understanding of how it works. Like, really. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't like the Claude Code memory system. Like, I don't like the way that it works. I'm not a fan of it, and I'm like trying to turn it off.
What don't you like about it?
I just like have my own memory system and it competes with it. And like, my memory.
Yeah, so it's like stop hallucinating your
Yeah.
Claude code memory. Just use mine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
use the WordPress memory so I can see it and I don't have to dig into the file system. Like, let me just like, because I have daily memory. I have a memory MD file. So like I'm hooking in to disable the memory and like strip the memory knowledge out of the system prompt for Claude so that it uses the WordPress memory instead. And I just feel a little
Dude,
bit like,
these repositories are just like a bunch of markdown files that like everyone's like freaking out about, like Claude Code and OpenClaw.
I know. It's pretty cool though. It's really cool to be able to look
Yeah,
and like read, like think about how it works and like I don't know. I would rather Claude Code remain focused on coding and allow other people to extend it with things that add things like memory. But I understand why they're
I
putting
mean,
memory
yeah.
into it. But it's kind of like feature creep is what I would consider it in a way. Like they're adding too many features.
Yeah, they're definitely adding too many features and they're trying to just dominate the whole ecosystem. Like you're saying, they're trying to be Apple, they're trying to bring everybody into their platform to make the most profit. That's how freaking capitalism works, dude. Like,
I know, and it makes
yeah,
sense. It's a smart move, and I'm going to invest as much money as I can when they go public. I wish
yeah,
it was. I like. I'm rooting for open source because of how I see their like their corporate greed is already showing pretty clearly. So like
yeah.
it'd be really dope for open source to pop off at this point and like
Dude,
under.
I'm rooting for the open source too, and I think everybody is, and I think we all
Yeah,
want to get away from the corporations and the cloud platforms. So I think what we might see, and I would love it if we do see it, is more decentralized infrastructure popping up where people create, I think we've talked about this before, people making their own data centers with like their own computers and like having renting out their compute as a service rather than AWS. You can go to these smaller hosting companies, maybe like you know, your friend has like maybe a group bands together of like friends that all have like, you know, some pretty good machines that they run their own local models and they just create a freaking API like Claude did and they just make their own one, you know, like
yeah, they're just computers.
smaller companies that are just as good as Claude or OpenAI, but they're just smaller.
I've been thinking about local models, like running a local model on a VPS, like on extra chill, and just having a built-in AI model that's like trained for. But it's like the tech's not
Yeah.
to run that
It's like it
reliably.
doesn't have to be the best code or anything, but maybe this is the model that just has the best internal knowledge, right? Yeah.
Yeah, or it like in the future when the models get stronger, because I feel like right now to run a
Yeah.
local model on my VPS, it would cost me like $1,000 a month or more, and it like
Yeah.
still wouldn't be as good as Claude
Well, I
Code.
think the new Gemma model that Ryan was talking about actually is less.
Okay.
Like I think you can actually affordably host that in the cloud from the video that I saw on it.
Well, I'm gonna look into that because that vision for me
Yeah, I
is
need to look into that one too.
like the AI lives on the website, doesn't cost you any money, doesn't require external access. Everything is inside the box, and it only knows about the box that it's on. Is like
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
It doesn't need the internet to run, which is like so sick. Then you can hack your own computer. Like in fun, like you can buy a computer just to hack it with AI and build your own operating system for fun, you know?
Yeah, who's that guy who is on the that you really
Terry
like who
Davis.
is on the what's his name?
Terry Davis.
Terry Davis. You get on your Terry Davis wave with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I am the best programmer on earth as chosen by God. and fuck you. That's an
That's
actual quote.
so crazy, dude. Oh my god.
And people would call him and troll him while he's doing his live streams, and he would just like curse them out on the phone. You should go down the rabbit hole. It's hilarious.
I need to go watch some of those videos, dude. It's so funny.
But yeah, anyway, I think we should end this because it's getting. I gotta like go start my day as well.
Yeah.
Same, dude. All right. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Ryan, for sharing. Super cool stuff. Keep building. Keep doing whatever.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. It was cool.
Yeah, good to talk, boys. Good to
Yeah.
ramble about technology again.
Yes, sir. All right. Have a good one, you guys.
You guys
Peace.
later. Yeah.